And joining us now to weigh in, financial markets analyst and author of Planet Ponzi, Mitch Firestein. And back with us, chief market strategist and CEO at Market Rebellion, Mark LoPresti. Gentlemen, always great to have you with us here. All right, so what's going on with the market here, Mitch?
Well, the stocks have made new highs. The Dow hit over 47,000 today, so everybody's pretty bullish. I'm not as optimistic. I think it's temporary. I'm a little bit tempered on this. However, the commodities have really taken off. I mean, copper's really up today. We're seeing silver's over 65% up for the year, and platinum's over 75% up for the year. Gold made record new highs today. That's significant in a lot of ways because it means the U.S. dollar. The U.S. dollar has been fairly stable, but generally when the dollar's on a downtrend, gold goes up. But when the dollar goes up, gold and the commodities don't usually go up, and they have been. So there's a disconnect there. We're also seeing oil prices, which is very good for consumers. Very good for consumers. Oil prices dipping below $61 a barrel. So that's very positive for gasoline prices and bullish for the markets. But I'm very skeptical about the valuations in the stock market, especially everything AI.
Okay, Mark, Mitch is skeptical. Are you?
I got one figure for you, Mitch. And Mitch and I, as you guys know, usually agree on most things, but on this one, I have to separate from that. $7 trillion is what McKinsey, not my opinion, came out in a report last week, said is in anticipated demand, near-term 7-year demand for AI and AI supply chain and AI ecosystem, right? So that means more money for NVIDIA, more money for all of the chip sector, of the data centers, all of those players. We've been saying we know those stocks are expensive. There's a reason why they are expensive, because the demand is there and growing when it comes to AI. And look, when it comes to overall bullishness on the market, Mitch, I mean, we are seeing in the options market, which is of course what we're known for, massive options activity in October and beyond that would indicate that professional traders, smart money investors, big hedge funds, and others are anticipating that the bull run will continue, and that's what my expectation is.
Yeah, it seems specifically with your reference to the AI, the Trump administration is so behind everything AI,
Absolutely.
even as recently with the the pediatric cancer initiative focusing on AI. So again, I'm not an economic expert, but what you're saying makes a lot of sense. But I do want to get both of your thoughts on this one. Speaking of U.S. dollar and valuation, Morgan Stanley is reporting that the U.S. dollar ended the first half of 2025 with its biggest loss since 1973. The dollar index fell about 11% from January through the end of June. Mitch, to what do you attribute that?
Yeah, look, I'm a little skeptical about the calculation of the dollar index. I would prefer to look at it versus the individual currencies and what I think the biggest, who's not having a recession. So you look at it versus Japanese yen or British sterling, and you'll see that sterling has had a bit of an uptick, but it was very statistically insignificant. Yen has declined quite a bit because they're in a very big recession, and Germany's been in a recession for 2 years, headed even into a worse economic situation now.
All right, gentlemen, got to leave it there. Mark, always a pleasure. Mitch, you as well.
Bullish sounds good.
Okay, I like bullish.
I know, right?
I do.